Welcome back to the Midnight Who Show, and before I get started with today's review, I hope you guys are all safe and practicing some social distancing, and let's talk about a movie. Even though, of course, as you know, right now there is no movies in movie theaters, but of course there is direct-to-video movies, and of course Warner Brothers does release a bunch of DC animated movies, and their newest one is, of course, Superman Red Son, which is, of course, an Elseworld story based on, of course, the graphic novel with the same name. This was a really good comic book adaptation. I really enjoyed this movie. The animation was really good in this movie. They did a really good job with, of course, the character designs, and, of course, the voice acting was really good. Now, of course, they do change some things with the comic, and it's only going to be a less than 90-minute movie. They're going to make some, of course, creative liberties of what they, of course, choose to adapt from the comic book and what they choose not to. And even with those changes, it was still a really solid adventure. I really enjoyed it. And I really think, honestly, of course, when I read the Elseworlds, Red Son comic, it's just a very interesting idea. Of course, you take Superman, and instead of him landing in, Kansas, he's now landing in, of course, the Soviet Union. And that's just a very unique idea, I think, because, of course, you're basically seeing a different type of Superman. He's now being raised on different ideology and all this, and you can kind of see this in there. And I kind of like how this, of course, blends some historical elements. Of course, you get to see some historical people in this movie, of course, from the United States side, like, Eisenhower and, of course, Kennedy, and even the Soviet leader Stalin. So to see those real characters now interact with, of course, some fictionalized comic book characters. And you also get some, of course, you don't just get Superman in this. You get to see, of course, Wonder Woman, a very different type of Wonder Woman than we've seen before. And most different, of course, is Batman, who's, of course, more or less the villain in this story. And, it's very kind of cool to see Batman, this Batman who basically doesn't care, and he wants revenge very much. Now, I think one thing I really liked about this, of course, was the villain Brainiac. I kind of like how it's all revealed that Brainiac is kind of still operating the scenes. Superman was basically thinking, no, I changed his programming. He's now under my control. No, it's still Brainiac. And I really like seeing that aspect. I also really liked how, of course, you get to see, there's also the Green Lantern Corps in this movie, which were a really cool feature too. But I kind of found it very interesting. It kind of just seems like very Cold War, Well, the Soviet Union has, Superman. Well, Lex in the United States, they're going to build their own Superman and Superior Man, which just screams like, of course, that. But, of course, this is kind of a version of kind of Bizarro, too, which is very cool. But, yeah, overall, I really enjoyed this animated movie. I think, Warner Brothers did a great job with it, and it's definitely worth a watch. And I would definitely recommend it if you haven't seen it yet. But, of course, if you have seen it, tell me your guys' thoughts in, of course, the comments below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, everyone.